You know that moment when you realize you're paying $15,000 a year for software your team is actively avoiding? Yeah, that one. You did the research, you sat through the demos, you signed the contract, a shiny new CRM or a project management tool that was supposed to revolutionize your business. And 6 months later, half your team is back using Excel, email threads are out of control, and sticky notes are multiplying like rabbits. Does that sound familiar? Here's the hard truth. Your team doesn't hate technology. They hate software that makes their jobs harder. And when your team avoids a system, it's not just annoying, it's expensive. Let's do the quick math. Say you invested $15,000 a year in a project management platform for your 12-person team. If only half the team actually uses it, you're not just wasting half of your subscription. You're paying for duplicate work. You have conflicting information, you're missing deadlines because nobody cares which version is correct. Management has blind spots because half of the real work isn't even tracked. That $15,000 investment can quietly turn into $40,000 of lost productivity and workarounds. And most business owners think the problem is people just resist change. And that's usually not it. Here's what's really happening. First, the software doesn't fit the workflow. Your sales rep needs to log in for a quick client note between calls. The CRM requires 12 fields before it even lets them hit save. So they write it on paper and tell themselves, I'll just enter it later. And they won't. If their software adds friction instead of removing it, your team will route around it every single time. Second, nobody really learned how to use it. A single 90-minute training session is not implementation. That's information overload. Real adoption requires repetition, support, and time to build new habits. Third, sometimes software solves management problems and not employee problems. You want reporting, you want visibility. But if your tool just creates more admin work for your team and doesn't make their day easier, guess what happens? They quietly go back to what works for them. And then there's integration. The demo said seamless integration, but in real life, syncing is delayed, the data doesn't map correctly, and something breaks every other week. So now your team is manually moving data between systems anyway, which defeats the entire point. And when official systems don't work well, shadow IT shows up. Personal Dropbox accounts, random free tools, secret Excel masterpieces that only one person understands. Your team isn't trying to rebel, they're trying to get their work done. But shadow IT creates security risks, compliance issues, and total visibility gaps. So how do you fix this? First, start with the workflow, not the software. Before buying anything, map how work actually moves through your business today. Talk to the people doing the work. Ask what slows them down. Then choose tools that fit in that reality. Second, involve your team in the selection. Let them test options, get their feedback. When people have input, adoption skyrockets. Third, plan for real onboarding. Not one training session, ongoing support, internal champions, office hours, and patience. Software adoption is change management, not just a purchase. Fourth is assign ownership. Someone has to be responsible for making sure the tool succeeds. Monitor the usage, helping people when they get stuck, bridging the gap between your team and the vendor. Without ownership, even great software fails. And finally, start small. Don't try to revolutionize everything at once. Prove value in one workflow. Show wins and then expand. And here's the bottom line. Buying business software is easy. Getting your team to actually use it is the real work. Your team doesn't hate new tools. They hate tools that waste their time. If you choose software that genuinely helps them do their job better and you implement it the right way, you stop throwing away money on unused licenses and start seeing real operational improvements. And if you're sitting there thinking, this sounds exactly what's happening in my business today, you're not alone. Sometimes it's not about choosing different software. It's about implementing it in the right way from the beginning. And that's where having the right IT partner makes all the difference. Because the goal isn't impressive features, it's real results. And if your software should work for your team, not the other way around.